How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video we get another sit down video. It's been a while since I've done these. I haven't really done these since like the car news. If you guys are interested in the car news, I can obviously bring that back, but you guys expressed no wanting for that to continue, so I stopped making that video. If you guys are interested, I can bring those back on Sundays, but in today's video we're gonna go over the 5 top cars you can buy under $10,000. Not a lot of high schoolers are usually in this budget, but maybe you want to buy a fun sports car and just enjoy it on the weekends, but also have a daily driver. These are going to be 5 sports cars that you can buy and pretty reliably keep for under $10,000. Now we're going to start off with a car with over 300 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, has a manual transmission option, 2-door, and you can get it in convertible if you choose. And that car is the Nissan 350Z. You can easily find one under 10 with lower mileage-ish. You can probably find one under 100,000 miles for that price range, depending on what year you want. If you're willing to pay a little bit more than 10, you can definitely find one with like 50, 60,000 miles on it and in really good condition for probably around $12,000-$13,000. If you want the old, like the later model with the higher rev and the higher horsepower, you're probably gonna be paying around 15, 14 for a really clean one. You can still find them around 12, but you can definitely find them underneath the $10,000 mark. That car is also equipped with a 3.5 liter V6 split that can sound really good if you do them properly. Now the next car is another Japanese car, but it doesn't have a lot of horsepower. It's a very good, sporty handling car and has the potential to have a lot of power, but if you don't want that and you just want a nice cruiser and something to take on some back roads and to handle very nicely, a first-gen Mazda Miata would probably be your ideal car. These cars you can find way under $10,000. You can find these cars for under $5,000 most of the time. Convertible, manual transmission, 2-door, and then obviously it's a very good handling car. It's not the fastest car in the world, but you can find one around 5, and if your budget is 10, you can make some horsepower tunes, and without doing too much, you can make around 250 horsepower without changing the internals and everything. Really nice car for the price. For under $10,000, you can find a very nice low mileage Miata and do a lot of work on it and a lot of horsepower gains. If you don't want to do that, you can obviously do body kits. There's a lot of stuff you can do for that car for $10,000. Not the fastest car in the world, but a very good handling car and a very good driver's car overall. Now the next car, getting away from the Japanese market, if you're more interested in something German, a BMW Z3. Now very similar to the Mazda Miata, basically a German version of the Mazda Miata, but this car has a lot more power. Obviously you have a BMW M Roadster. That car is going to, you're going to end up spending probably 15, 16, if not more than that on that car, but a Z3 with a 2.8 in 1998 car with 60, 50,000 miles you can get for under $10,000 all day. Manual transmission, rear wheel drive, BMW handling, BMW motors, and then BMW just interior, very nice interiors, very nice exteriors. The car looks better than the Mazda Miata in my opinion, much more sporty looking and obviously a little bit exotic. So that's a really good car for that price range. It's probably better than the next car I'm going to say, which is going to be the 4th car, but I think this is probably the best car on the list if you're looking for a convertible roadster type car, sports car. And if you're looking for more of the coupe type style, you'd probably want to go with the 350Z. Now for the 4th car on this list is going to be a Porsche Boxster, early 2000s Porsche Boxster. You can find that car under $10,000 all day. Manual transmission, obviously you have a rear mounted motor. The only problems you have with this car is the IMS bearings. If you have the IMS bearings solved, which might run you a little bit over $10,000 for the car total, so one with it already fixed would probably be a little bit more expensive, but they are slowly depreciating by the day, and you probably, if you look hard enough, you will be able to find one under $10,000. Now, it's a great car for what it is. Rear-wheel drive, manual transmission, it's a Porsche, and then obviously you have a rear-mounted motor. Very interesting car. A lot of people hate on these cars, but it's a very good car for the price and for everything you're getting inside of it. The Z3 probably is a better car, honestly, because you're gonna have a little bit more reliability. I hate to say it. Porsche Boxsters don't tend to be unreliable, but you never know what could go wrong. Obviously, these cars are a little bit older. from the early 2000s. It's a very safe time to buy a car, I would say. Most of the cars from that generation, like the BMWs from that generation and Porsches from that generation, don't tend to be terribly unreliable as long as you do your research. These two cars are cars that are both great no matter which option you go for. Obviously, just be careful of what car you're buying in specific. Now, for the fifth car, we're gonna go with something American. The Mustang GT 2004-ish, 2005. You can find these cars for under $10,000 very easily. Manual transmission. Most of these cars, if not all of them, have an automatic transmission option, but manual transmission in this car, you can get it in a convertible or a coupe, and this car is a 4.8 liter V8, an American V8. You can make these cars track cars, drift cars. You can have a daily car with this. This is such a universal car. Same thing with the Z. You can have the convertible or the coupe. They're both amazing cars no matter which way you go, and you can obviously pick and choose which car you want, auto, manual, convertible, coupe, and you'll just have an amazing car no matter what. This is probably the car with the biggest motor, having the V8. Pretty interesting list overall. These are probably some of my favorites under this price range. There are a lot more cars, and a lot more cars I'd probably buy over these, but most of them tend to be hard to find and super unreliable. You can go find 20 of these cars searching for 10 minutes online, and that's why I just chose these cars. They're reliable, you can find them with no issue whatsoever, and just overall they're great cars for the price. You guys have any other suggestions that you would buy under this price range? Feel free to let me know. Obviously, I went with some reliable cars. There are some cars that tend to be a little bit more unreliable that I would probably choose. But that's all I have for this video. Make sure you guys stay tuned for tomorrow's video. And other than that, I'll see you guys next time.